Have you broken through and started to get movement? When you get movement, does it feel like you're stuck in the same pattern of getting some amount of movement, but that's it? In other words, it never goes past a certain point. If you answered yes, I'm going to explain 3 things to definitely avoid when you are getting movement showing up so that the movement becomes more and starts to snowball, meaning it has momentum all of its own and you have to do very little to keep it going. Hello, everyone. I am your Muse, Traci, and I am your favorite manifestation coach. I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I offer one-on-one coaching, and in my coaching program, we take a deep dive into your subconscious programming or your belief system, and we do the work to identify and change the programming that is effectively covering up and masking your true nature. I'll take you through the process of identifying and changing the programming. I'll also teach you how to integrate the creator belief system. I'll teach you how to release stored emotions from the past that are blocking you from moving forward, as well as teaching you how to honor and integrate and process your emotions on an ongoing basis. Your emotions are not to be ignored and suppressed, as well as much, much more. We meet 2 to 3 times per week in my coaching program, and in between the sessions, you have email access to me. It's an intensive month designed to create real transformation. This is for you if you want to move past the one-off coaching sessions that are sort of a band-aid, right? This program creates real transformation in every area of your life and returns you back to your true nature of being that effortless, unlimited creator that you truly are. Most of my clients will stay with me 2 to 3 months to integrate these teachings. Some want to stay longer, some stay shorter. It's always up to you. Either way, my clients come out from the program transformed and back in their ability to create everything that they desire. They stop struggling, they stop suffering, and they finally understand how to apply all the manifesting knowledge that they've been consuming for sometimes years. So if you're interested, check out the link down below. There is a wait list, so the sooner you join the wait list, the sooner you can get started on this amazing transformation. Okay, on to 3 mistakes, 3 mistakes to avoid when you are getting movement. Let's get right into it. Number 1, when you get movement, you want to avoid thinking that this is all you're getting, okay? i.e., you want to avoid taking your cue from what is showing up. I explained this a little bit in my last video. If you haven't watched that video, go and watch that video first, come back and rejoin us in this one. If that was about 3 ways to keep your momentum going. This is about 3 mistakes to avoid. So you need both, right? We need to know what to do and what not to do. So the point is, either way, we're building the momentum of movement, right? And the understanding that there is an unfolding, okay? It's not even a partial manifestation, it's an unfolding. I don't like partial manifestations because that is exactly what we're trying to avoid, labeling it as such. Oh, this is just partial, I don't get to have the full picture. You absolutely do. There is an unfolding. So if you understand there's a natural unfolding, and your movement, whatever it is, isn't all you're getting, then you can allow that to continue to bloom and blossom and unfold. Okay, blooming is a great analogy. Think about a flower, how it opens. It doesn't just go all the way. No, there's a beautiful blooming process and a growth process. And this isn't really a limiting belief, because I'm not saying that you can't get a lot of movement all at once. You absolutely can, and you will. This is what I'm talking about with a snowball. But you have to be the one that keeps the thing going. You have to understand when the movement shows up. You have to go, okay, here we go. We are off to the races. We are off. This is the unfolding to the full manifestation. So the thing to avoid here is labeling your movement as a partial manifestation. Labeling your movement as, oh, this is just the old pattern of getting a little bit, but not the full picture. If you say that, that is what it will be. So your job is to say, here we go. This is the start to the unfolding. This is the unfolding. This is the blooming of my full manifestation. There are no partial manifestations, you guys. Let's throw that concept out the window. Let's just chuck it out and leave it out forever. There are no partial manifestations. And you need to not label anything as a partial manifestation, because if you say it is, then it will be. So let's throw it out. We don't believe in that anymore. Everything is simply the unfolding to your full manifestation, because why would it be partial? It's only partial if you call it such. Okay, super clear, I think. Let's move on to number 2. Now, number 2 is avoid reacting to the things that are still showing up. And what I mean by the things that are still showing up is, in this unfolding process, you are getting some, movement, and then maybe there's some unconformed bits. We're not reacting to those unconformed bits. We need to completely remain indifferent to those unconformed bits. Now, you're not going to be able to be indifferent to the unconformed bits if you think that that's all that's available to you. Right? In other words, you won't be able to really accept them and be indifferent if you think that this is showing you some limitation that's being imposed on you. If you think that this is truly a partial manifestation. No, you won't be able to be indifferent. You will be reactive. So again, this whole thing with movement is understanding it's an unfolding, it's a blooming, it's a beautiful blooming unfolding. So there's likely to be, movement intertwined with old story. Please understand, this is normal. This is not a limitation for you. This is not a limitation for you. Do not react to the old story aspects that are still present. Completely, when you see them, just go, oh yeah, that's changing. That's already changed. In my consciousness and my awareness, that's already different. I don't need to react to this. I don't need to respond to this. I don't need to worry about this. Cool. That's just part of the old story. I don't believe that anymore. This is how you deal with the unconformed parts. This is not reacting. Now, if you do react to the old story aspects, then you hold them in place. You solidify their presence. You are not going to allow this unfolding and this blooming to happen, right? Because remember, reacting is your confirmation to your subconscious mind or to the universe that, yes, I still believe in the old story. You don't need to believe in the old story. The old story is just the old story. Let it pass. Let it die. Just let it be. Okay? This is clear, I'm assuming. So we're avoiding reacting to the unconformed bits that are the old story intermixed in with the movement. We don't need to worry about that. Okay? So we're indifferent to the parts that are yet to conform because we know that they will conform. This is not a partial manifestation. We don't believe in that anymore. Let's go on to number 3. The most important one. Avoid reacting to your own negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, and self-concept that are being triggered by the movement. This is very common. So this is why I preach and teach, do the work to change your belief system, do the work to change your self-concept, because you can manifest anything without changing your beliefs. I say this all the time. Yes, of course you can. I've done it. I've been there, done that. I don't recommend it, okay? I don't recommend it because yes, you can, but when your manifestation shows up, if you haven't changed in terms of your worthiness, in terms of your, self-confidence, in terms of your, if you want to keep your manifestation not being triggered by the presence of it, not being triggered by you don't want to be triggered by the presence of your manifestation. You'll need to change the programming. Plain and simple. If you didn't need to change the programming, your manifestation would have been here already. Plain and simple. You'll need to believe that you are absolutely worthy of the highest and best. You'll need to believe that you are absolutely, lovable and perfect exactly the way that you are right now. You'll need to believe that you are the absolute best and deserve the absolute best in everything. Relationships, money, work, friends, career, everything. Because if you don't, your manifestation showing up, your movement, in other words, showing up, will trigger you. It will trigger you. And your old belief system of not being good enough, not being enough, period, not being worthy. In other words, you'll go back to feeling insecure around your manifestation, and you will begin to push it back out. Again, we don't want to do that. We don't want to work so hard to get the movement just to then push it back out again. Okay? So we have to avoid reacting to our own limiting beliefs that might be triggered to come up to the surface. Okay? So you avoid reacting to these old thoughts. Let's talk about how you do that. Very important. You simply choose to no longer believe in these thoughts about yourself. Okay? The fact that they're coming up doesn't mean that you have to go, oh yeah, I'm not worthy. No, you don't have to do that. And if you have been working on your programming prior to your manifestation showing up, if something like this is getting triggered, it's very likely that it will, the thought can come up and you will easily be able to recognize what's going on. And you also won't be so hard on yourself. You won't judge yourself for having this thought come up, which is not helpful, by the way. So if they are coming up when your movement shows up, which they are very likely to do, the ideal way for you to deal with it is to see the old belief come up and no longer identify with it, and simply confirm what you now believe to be true about yourself. And this is exactly what you can do, again, if you've been doing the work to change your programming before the manifestation and the movement starts to show up. If you haven't been doing the work prior, this will be much more difficult. I'm not saying you can't do it. Of course you can do it if you have the awareness and you know what's going on. But if you don't have the awareness and this, concept of yourself is still very deeply rooted inside of you, the SP shows up, the money shows up, the movement, whatever it is, shows up, and your old belief is right there. And if you're not aware, you'll go, oh yeah, that's right, I'm not worthy. I wonder how long he's going to stay now. He or she's going to stay. Oh yeah, I got this money, but money runs out. I got to make sure that I'm careful, right? The old belief is right there. So learning how to disidentify with the old beliefs and just simply see it for what it is. Oh, that's the old thing. Yeah, I've been working on changing that. Here it is. Okay, well, I don't believe this anymore. I know that I'm worthy. I know that money flows in abundance. I know that I'm worthy of having always more than enough. I know that I'm worthy of having the best in everything. I know that I'm worthy exactly as I am, right? So you don't identify with the old beliefs and you don't react to those beliefs coming up inside of you. Okay, so this has been 3 things to avoid when your movement is showing up. And if you avoid these things, it will allow you to turn that movement into more and more and more movement, creating the snowball effect that you have, so that you have to do very little to keep the momentum going, which is really, really, really a great place to be. All right, you guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.